It's Muji or Bored Black Girl, and in today's video we will be updating my 12 book challenge as I do almost every month now. My book for April was Court of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert, and my book for May is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. And as usual, I will be using I made this, my digital reading journal and digital 12 book challenge, where I challenge myself to read 12 books in a year, or obviously one book per month. I've been doing pretty good so far, and it's time for a quick update. First, we are going to finish up with Court of the Vampire Queen. Okay, now in my journal, which you can actually also buy on my Etsy shop, Bored Black Girl Prints, linked in the description, I rated it a 3.5 to 4 out of 5 stars. So first we're gonna real quickly just fill in our stars as I sort of talk about what it was like to read this book. I didn't know if I wanted to do cute stars or messy stars. I'm feeling messy stars today. Ooh. These stars are very interesting looking. Now, Court of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert is a polyamorous, smutty vampire book, which is involved with our main character, Mina, who is a half vampire, half werewolf, who is powerless until we find out that she actually does have powers. She is given to Malachi, who is a bloodline vampire. It's a whole thing going on. To make a long story short, she gets involved with him, and then she also gets involved with Wolf, who is a lover of his, and then soon they also get involved with Rylan, who is another lover of Malachi's. Malachi has a lot of lovers. He was actually also lovers with Wolf, who is the second guy. He was lovers with Wolf's sister. Briefly, if you want to watch more about that, I have a video that I just posted up about it last week, but I digress. Let's get into the things that I liked and the things that I disliked. Now, what did I absolutely hate? You know what? One thing that I did hate that I did not think about before was how long the book was. Because originally, I guess I was just reading, but I feel like for the middle portion of the book, it is so long, and I feel like nothing is happening, mostly because like Mina is just pregnant and sick and throwing up, and I felt like it was just kind of like, oh my gosh. I felt like it was such like a standstill for the book. Is there anything else I hated? Oh, I hated Mina's dad. More specifically, the way Mina's dad spoke to Mina in the scene, or I guess like in the part of the book at the end where she kills him, spoiler, the way he spoke to her was crazy. He is like calling her a bitch, and he's saying like Neil slut, which was crazy to me. Considering like how much smut this book has, for him to be the first person, I'm pretty sure the only person to call Mina slut, is crazy. And like, that's her dad. Anyways, what did I absolutely love? That's a really good question. To be completely honest, I don't think that I absolutely loved anything about this book. I definitely liked it, and I guess 3.5 stars. I semi-like the book as a whole, but I honestly don't think that there was anything that like screamed out to me. It was kind of like, oh my gosh. That's unfortunate, but it is the truth. Favorite character? Honestly, I hate to say it, I feel like I'm giving this book such a bad rap. I don't think I had a favorite character. I don't know, maybe this book just didn't really... Oh, it's getting a little cold. I think I have to close the window. Hold on, I don't want to mess up my sound quality. Okay, I had to close the window real quick, just so you guys wouldn't hear the wind. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the book really did not reach out to me, so I don't think I absolutely loved anything or I have a favorite character. Okay, so I'm a little bit dumb today and I forgot that the whole point of this video was to show my book update on my iPad. So I wasn't recording on my iPad, but I am screen recording now. So we're just going to go back where I was and continue and pretend like I didn't completely forget about that. Anyways, 12 book challenge. As you can see, we have my past books and my book of of last month, April. I rated it, as I said before, a 3.5/4 out of 5 stars. Okay, but truthfully, I don't think there was anything that I absolutely loved or any characters that I really favored over another. Favorite quote? Probably, I think I have a favorite quote, I won't lie. I don't remember exactly what page it is, but I know that it's Wolf that says it. And he says something along, hold on, let me add my quotation marks. He says something along the line of, I don't want to say it. 3 cocks are better than 1. That is what Wolf says. And I found that really funny because it was like, in the situation, it was just really funny because Mina is about to do all 3 of them so she can break her power block. Raw, mind you. All of them. So I think that just him saying that was kind of just like, he's trying to make the best out of a bad situation, you know? For most memorable moments, I think I would honestly have to say at the beginning of the book where Malachi rips Wolf's throat out and proceeds to take Mina's virginity while they are both covered in blood. I know that sounds very like, whoa, Muji, but I think I really liked it because it was the first time that I'd read something like that in a vampire book. And that's one of the things that kind of like intrigued me about vampires and like romance, especially when it comes to like taking blood or like sucking blood, because like it's just interesting to me. And like the fact that the fact that he ripped Wolf's throat out, which is insane. Like, being a vampire obviously is very magical, but it's kind of like, how does like your throat regenerate? How does your throat heal? So it was definitely interesting, and I think I liked it because just like the way it was worded, it was like so while covered in Wolf's blood. Just insane. All right, let's continue to the next slide. Now, the next slide is my let it out slide, where I basically just word dump how I feel about the book. And since I wrote my original thoughts in here, I'm just going to speak them as well as speak them to you guys and add anything else I think I might need to add. Now, here's what I had to say. Here are my final thoughts about the book. This book wasn't revolutionary or especially special, but it was fun, period. It was mostly many pages of bloody sex and an underlining plot, period. I wish Mina had used her power more and that we could have learned more about angels, period. I feel like there was a missed opportunity to take advantage of her powers, period. Although she was the most powerful, she was stuck in an annoying mindset that didn't allow her to see or express it, period. I didn't care much about the pregnancy, I understand it was important to the plot, but I feel like all the pregnancy did was drain the fuck out of Mina, period. Now, I know that it probably looks really messed up on my screen, and that's mostly just because I'm just a little too lazy to type it all out, I have to be honest. But honestly, that is exactly how I feel. I feel like Mina was made out to be a lot more powerful than we ever really saw. I mean, Mina is the daughter of a very famous, or I guess well-known vampire. She is half vampire, part human, part angel, and she has 3 bloodline vampires that she's bonded with, who she has compelled. She's compelled Wolf before, so she can do it to the other guys as well. And I feel like we just never really got to see it. Like, you're telling me she's a vampire, okay? And she can also be, with like proper like diet and exercise, she can be as powerful as a turned vampire and a born vampire. So she's already powerful on that front. And then on top of that, she's an angel. And then she has 3 bloodline vampires who she's bonded to, who she can compel. And she's just like sat up all week. And it's just kind of like, ugh. Another thing that annoyed me was the fact that Mina most likely, obviously, needed blood when pregnant, but she didn't go out to get any. Or even thinking of it as a possibility. This part annoyed me because I feel like they were trying to poke fun at the, I don't want to say Twilight, because I know it probably didn't originate from Twilight, but of course when Bella gets pregnant, she needs vampire blood instead of like human food. And I don't know why Mina thought that this was such a ridiculous idea. Your kid is not even half vampire, because she's half vampire, and then Malachi is full 75% vampire. And like what, 25% angel? Don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. I feel like it would have made sense if she just went out at least once and got a little bit of blood. Imagine what it could have been like if she was actually drinking blood. I feel like she would have been easily able to contact the Zool instead of just struggling and constantly throwing up and just being sick the entire, well, not the entire, but a majority of the middle part of the book. I also felt like the pregnancy is definitely what dragged and slowed down the middle portion of the book. I think it would have been more interesting to learn about angel pregnancies, especially because not that many people knew about it. But from what we saw of Mina's pregnancy, all it did was drain her completely. Do I have any other thoughts? Oh, I'm sorry. I had to go back to the whole Mina powerful thing. On top of that, Mina also had a little bit of all of the guys' powers. That's how she killed her dad, by using Ryland's shapeshifting, cut his head off, and then soon using Wolf's fire and burning her dad's body. But we never saw that. I know it's like, oh, she didn't have proper time to train. Yeah, but guess what? In the moment, she did it. So she shouldn't, like, she could have done it beforehand. I digress. I think that this book was good for what it was and definitely could have been shorter, but yeah, truthfully, I've been talking about it so much because I've been recording all my bits for it like back to back, but I truthfully don't think that I have that much more to say about Court of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert. If you do want to see more of me talking about it, you can check out 2 videos that I posted about it already last week, which was my reading vlog as well as my books versus beauty video, which I actually do make up inspired by this beautiful cover. But now I think that it's time that we actually get into our book for May, which is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is actually my second time reading a Ali Hazelwood book. My very first one was The Love Hypothesis, which I'm sure that's how most people got. I think she has a few books out, but obviously these were her most popular ones, at least in my opinion. I'm excited to listen, sorry. Alrighty, there we have filled in our photo. Now it's time to fill in the rest of our information while I talk a little bit about this book. I am honestly a little bit excited to read this book, not only because it seems interesting, and also I love Ali Hazelwood covers like this and Love Hypothesis. Also, you should go to my Etsy shop to check out Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain bookmarks. Yeah, I make them. Anyways, sorry, it was so corny. Anyways, back to the video. I'm super excited to read. Let me put this down. I'm just holding it like a mannequin. I'm super excited to read it because I am basically giving Ali Hazelwood a second chance. The first book that I read by her, which was Love Hypothesis, I mentioned earlier, it was interesting. Honestly, I did not like it the first time around. I remember not even like disliking it. I hated the Love Hypothesis the first time around. I know that's probably like, oh, Maji, that's kind of harsh, which I think at the time it was, but I don't know. I think because it just wasn't what I was expecting. I expected it to be like a super smutty book, which is how it was advertised to me. But there was not a lot of smut, and there was just so much emotions getting in the way, and it was just kind of like, oh my god, will you two idiots just be together? And I was just over it. I won't lie. But I'm interested to see how the writing and sort of like how the plot and storyline in this book holds up compared to the Love Hypothesis, mostly because I think that because it's in a similar setting, that some people might think that it's kind of like the same thing going on, but obviously it can't be like exactly like, people would be like, hey, this is the same thing but something else. And it is a paperback book, of course. Honestly, I hardly ever get hardcover books. All right, let's check out the back of the book so we can fill out a little bit of our tropes and read more about the book. Of course, there is a Jedi mention. Those who know where Ali Hazelwood come from, you know. Okay, it looks like for our tropes, it's kind of similar to the Love Hypothesis. Well, as far as my personal research has told me, which has mostly just been reading the back of the book and Googling, but hey, we're gonna ignore that for a second. It's looking like some grumpy sunshine going on, which honestly, I don't really, gimpy, wow. I'm sorry. And then we have some enemies to lovers. And then another one which Ali Hazelwood seems to like is miscommunication. Now, truthfully, looking up the tropes does not give me a super good feeling about this book. I honestly don't want it to be just a variation of Love on the Brain. So I'm hoping that it isn't. But obviously, I've gone to the next slide, but I can't really do anything to update it because guess what? I haven't read the book yet. So I think that it's time to call an end to this video. Truthfully, I think this video was one of my sloppiest book challenge updates. So I promise that next video will be a lot cleaner and a lot more organized. I'm sorry about that. I really wanted to get the video out and I apologize because that made it a little bit lower quality. You guys deserve the highest quality. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then you should absolutely go in the description and check out my 12-book digital reading journal challenge and my Etsy shop, as well as check out my bookmarks for Love on the Brain and the Love Hypothesis. They are super adorable, and if you love the book, then I know for a fact that you will love these bookmarks, as well as check out my Etsy shop for my journals. Sorry, a lot of promotion at the end here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and next time will be better. Promise. Bye, and I love you. Mwah. City of you to make me feel just like